welcome back to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share and subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. So today we are taking a look at Darkstar, also of course known as Linnea Petrovna. She's obviously a character from Marvel Comics and part of the Winter Guard. We saw her here in the Ursa Major wave, which was a great addition because it meant that we could round off a nice Winter Guard collection with Ursa Major as the builder figure, but we'll get to that later. So as a figure, she's pretty standard. She's a standard female buck. There's not a lot going on. The only thing that's different on her is obviously the paint apps and the head. From what I can tell, I think the hair is the same as the Silver Sable figure that we got a little while back. If not, it's very similar. She comes with 2 closed fist hands. And obviously open palm hands, and also 2 of the kind of C cup hands so that she can hold stuff as well. And that's about it. She's a nice figure. She's a cool figure. She's a bit short for my liking. I would have liked her to have been on a taller mould. I've got a couple of little paint blemishes here of the black leaking into the yellow, which occasionally from time to time does happen, but it's not the end of the world because I can easily scratch off. The actual paint app on the emblem on her chest and on her face is absolutely fine, so I'm quite happy with that. You can see here, because the hair obviously does fall a certain way, you can't really pose her in that many positions, because obviously if you turn her head to the left, the hair doesn't fall on her shoulder, and if you turn her head to the right again, you're going to have that big gap. So you're quite limited into where you can how you can pose her. But the actual face app is really nice. There's the yellowing in her eyes there. The paint application on the emblem there on her headdress is a little bit off, but it's nothing I can't live with. But the actual face sculpt is really quite nice. But I do think it's very similar to the Silver Sable head, if not the same. I'll have to double check, but it's definitely a similar hairstyle with that bit of hair kind of drooping over the shoulder there. But yeah, she's really cool. So let me bring in some of the other Winter Guards. So we had the Ursa Major builder figure. He's obviously the big bear of the team. We previously had Crimson Dynamo. That was another builder figure that we got a little while back. And of course, quite a while ago now, we had Red Guardian. Now the 4 of these together obviously make up a good Winter Guard team. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, the Winter Guard is essentially Russia's answer to the Avengers. There's some really good comic storylines with them, so do go and check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, this is essentially a decent Winter Guard setup. I'm pretty confident that we're going to get an updated Red Guardian at some point, maybe on a pinless body or something. And with his popularity through the Black Widow film, we are definitely due a redo on the comic Red Guardian. But for the meantime, this works perfectly, and I've got a nice little Winter Guard set up with the inclusion of Darkstar. Now, Darkstar's abilities and powers. Now, yes, she is a mutant, much the same as Ursa Major. Now, without going really too deep into it, there's essentially a thing called Dark Force Dimension, and she can channel that energy from the Dark Force Dimension and kind of project it and move things around, etc, etc. So she's quite a cool character. She first debuted back in the Champions, which came out in, let me get this right, I think it was the early or mid-70s, and she was actually in the Champions comic book arc. She wasn't actually a member of the Champions, but she was definitely there as one of the kind of main characters that was in the comic book. Obviously I just pulled in Ironheart from the same wave, so you can kind of see what I mean by the height difference. I would have liked her to have been a bit taller. This buck here was used for some of the New Mutants, etc, and it's a little bit short, but she does stand taller than a kind of a teenage figure, so it's kind of like mid-range. But I think I would have liked to have seen her a little bit taller. But all in all, I mean, I can't complain. I mean, she's a pretty standard figure. It's a female buck. We've got a new head. We've got some alternate hands. And considering her costume pretty much is what it is, yellow boots, yellow gloves, and the kind of emblem on her chest, there's not a lot more they could have done with it. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. Now, if I'm being totally honest, if you're not collecting the Winter Guard, or you don't know anything about this character, then she's not one that's going to jump off the shelf to you and make it an instant buy. However, as part of the wave, and alongside obviously this big old BaF Ursa Major, I was quite pleased to see it. Now, what is quite unique is obviously having a builder figure that rounds off a team with one of the missing characters in that wave as well is a nice touch from Hasbro, and I was very pleased for that. But I do understand that there will be certain people that will not be pleased with this figure and will actually think of it as a bit of a peg warmer, which I think it might become. Once those that wanted a round off a Winter Guard team have done so, then this very well could become a bit of a peg warmer. But in regards to customization, it's a nice standard, flat female body, so there's a lot of options there to obviously do some customizing on her as well. So yeah, so all in all, very nice. Can't complain that much. But yeah, she is what she is. Darkstar, Winter Guard. If you're enjoying the 5-minute figure reviews, then please do like, share and subscribe. It's all very much appreciated. Any support to the channels, and do check out our other social media channels as well. And I'll catch you next time.